Hello and welcome back to 18 WJTS in.form. I'm Kaitlyn Neukam, and today I have survivors of suicide of Dubois County here. We have Emily Schnell, the secretary of the group, as well as Beth Harold, the advisory board member from Survivors of Suicide. So welcome to you both, ladies.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So what are we here to talk about today?
We're here to talk about after a suicide occurs, what the grief looks like, all of those kinds of things, who you can reach out for help, those main points of what do I do now?
Yeah, I mean, suicide, it's got a connotation with it. It's scary, it's very uncertain, and unfortunately a lot of people go through it, or they go through having a loved one and whatnot, and so being able to talk about it and sitting here today and being able to make it less scary, I think, is super important.
Correct.
Yeah.
Just to know that someone is there. I went through, my father completed suicide quite a while ago, and I had absolutely no support, back in the day. So I am very passionate about being there for someone who's lost someone to suicide. If they call me, I'll be right there. Wherever they want me to be, just to be there for them.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. I can't imagine, and I don't want to imagine, but I know it's very common. I know you guys have some statistics here about suicide and survivors of suicide. I didn't know if you wanted to mention that today.
Sure. So one suicide, 135 people are directly affected by that one suicide, and 6 people, their lives have changed forever. Their lives have changed like majorly. One suicide is just too many. It is one too many.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, it's hard to talk about, but it's something that everyone with mental health issues or just general people, even if they don't want to admit it, everybody has thought about something like that or had people talk to them about it. And again, it's not something we want to talk about, but having the awareness and knowing that there's resources available is super important, and just trying to voice the concerns before they get a little too loud. So I know we wanted to talk about the after a suicide occurs grief process. So do you want to both run us through this a little bit, or kind of like tell us what you may expect or have experienced before?
I would say the main thing is that it's all different. Everyone can be different. Emily had mentioned earlier today that she might experience grief 2 different ways for maybe 2 different people that have passed in her lifetime. Of course, part of the things of grief, you have your anger, you're shocked, you're in denial, like this, didn't happen. There's so many. And you may not experience all of them. You might experience just a few of them. Everyone is a little bit different. And one thing I would say is that grief has no expiration.
Yeah.
There are it's been years since my father completed suicide. However, there are things that trigger the memory. And that will always be there. That will always be there. So I guess the main thing is that everyone's grief is different.
Yes.
And we respect that. But we want to be there for whatever they need.
Yeah.
Whatever they need. Emily?
And anniversaries can be hard. They do get easier as you go through multiples of them. But that first anniversary, no matter what you categorize that first anniversary being, it's going to be hard. And I can say that, and I can experience it. It's different, right? I can say all day long it's going to be hard, but you never really know what's going to happen. There's ways that you can take care of yourself before that anniversary happens. Healthy coping mechanisms is important. Journaling, talking to people, doing things that you enjoy, those can really help. You just have to know, oh yeah, I might have a bad day. What am I going to do to take care of myself? Because often we forget especially during this grief process, we forget to eat, we forget to drink, we forget to sleep, we forget to do all those things. And so really just taking a step back and am I taking care of myself physically? Am I taking care of myself mentally?
Yeah.
Because those can play hand in hand. You need to take care of your physical health as much as you need to take care of your mental health.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, the world today is so busy. Everybody has their own schedules, own everything. And so when something unexpected happens, like a suicide or a tragic accident, I mean, just the idea that it is something occurring that completely shifts your world, and then you have to rethink everything, but making sure that you are on the thought process and that you're taking care of yourself every day, even if it's just for a little bit, and doing it for a long time is super important. I mean, I've struggled with mental health issues in the past few years, and I know how important it is to work on individual mindfulness per se on just individual things. So being mindful to yourself and then sharing that energy with everyone else and being supportive of whatever comes is super important, especially with suicide occurrences.
Right.
Yeah. So I know you touched briefly on some methods to try to help heal after the process. Do you want to kind of explain that a bit more, Emily?
Sure. So there's different ways that you can heal. It really just varies on the person. It varies on the death.
Yes.
That you've experienced. You can do your coping mechanisms. And the thing about coping mechanisms, they can work one day. They may not work the next day. So having a handful of them that you can select through is important. And knowing when you need to use them. You can do individual therapy. American Foundation for Suicide Prevention has specialized trainings for therapists to help them understand the loss, understand how to help that person. You can share your story. Now, with that, it may take some time to be able to share your story. That did not come out. Being able to,
Years.
to tell her story the way that she does, you just have to be careful. You don't want to trigger somebody else.
Yes.
Right.
Anything else?
Well, I can't. Let's see. Everything Emily said, yes. I think one point that I would want to make is that with our organization, we also have what we call the LOSS team, and that stands for, hold on one moment, Local Outreach to Suicide Survivors. This is something I wish would have been in place when I lost my father. They can call. We are trained. Some of us are specifically trained on how to deal with the loved ones, those left behind. We'll anywhere you want us to come. We will come and meet with you, talk with you, help you make a plan to get on with your life, even if it's just to make a list of what I need to do tomorrow. We are there. If I would have had that, I think my life would have been a little bit different. I honestly was, after my father passed, we didn't talk about it. You don't talk about it. No one wanted to talk about it. Later on, when I finally figured out I needed help, which was a long time, I was diagnosed with PTSD because of the things that I had seen and experienced. So it's important to me that people in this area know that we will help. You call me, I'll be right there.
Yeah, again, just the notion of suffering in silence. Nobody should have to suffer in silence, whether you're a victim of suicide or anything, if you're contemplating it yourself. And it's a long, lonely road for a lot of folks, but knowing that there's people like you out there, that all you need to do is just reach out and talk to someone is super important.
Right.
So, survivors of suicide, what do you guys kind of offer the community, and how can people kind of contact you or just try to make that first step? Because I know even that can be really hard.
Right. Do you have a phone number?
So our phone number is 812-630-6779. You can reach us on Facebook. But I do want to mention that, yes, we are open to helping.
Mm-hmm.
We are definitely open to helping. But there are other resources in our community that can also help. There's just been a myth that's been floating around that we don't have any.
Yeah.
And we do. We have Memorial Hospital. We have Life Springs. We have, you know, there's online things
Yes.
that you can go to. You can call or text 988. That's a new number that just rolled out,
Yes.
you know, about 6-7 months ago. You know, there's resources out there for certain losses, right? So if you wanted to reach out for, you know, your parent had died, there's a support group for that. There's options out there. It's just really finding what matches with you.
Yeah, especially like military.
Yes.
It's a kind of its own, I don't want to say breed, but
Yeah.
they have special concerns, and I believe that we have some resources here in the area for military as well.
Yeah.
And again, if you reach out to us, we will find your resource that you need specifically. We'll help you figure out which one you need, whether it be just come and hanging out with us at one of our support group meetings, or, you know, getting you hooked up with another organization
Yeah.
for therapy.
Yeah, I think for people in this area for a long time, they think that Jasper or Dubois County is just little old Dubois County. I mean, it's grown up in the past few decades. Even myself growing up here as a child, I didn't realize all the resources that we had. And coming back from college, now there's still so many more coming in, and it's super important to get out there and try your best to express concerns or express these feelings, because more times than not, and I'm going to say almost all the time, somebody else can relate with you.
Yeah.
You just have to speak up. You just have to use your voice, or you know, you could text now. That's kind of a really nice feature. But be able to express yourself in a way that's comfortable to you, that you can also try to heal yourself with.
And it's healing for that person too. Whenever I am able to help someone else, it helps me heal.
Oh, yeah.
I totally believe that.
Yeah, I mean, you don't even think about that side of it. I mean, there's people who go into professions for counseling and therapy and all these things, and that's part of their job, is to help people. And again, that aligns exactly with what you both do, is you're helping people, whether it's trying to guide them to where they need to go next, or to just have somebody there. Right. And that's super important, especially in Dubois County. Yeah. So again, there's the Facebook page. You guys have a website and a phone number. Which, do you want to reiterate that just one more time?
Yeah, sure. The phone number is 812-630-6779.
Yes, awesome. Emily, Beth, is there anything else that you both would like to share with the audience about anything before we kind of wrap it up here?
I don't believe so, other than just reach out.
Yeah.
Get the help that you need.
Yeah, I mean, these two ladies are super nice. They've been in the studio this morning, and I mean, if they're willing to lend a hand, there's so many more people out there. You just have to put the line out and hopefully catch you a good fish. And I mean, again, just being proactive is better than being stuck in place and dealing with those thoughts that can isolate you. Everybody has these challenges, whether they realize them consciously or not.
Right.
And being able to talk with people and know that you're not alone is a huge part in mental health, in surviving suicide, losing someone to suicide, and all of those things. And I mean, you guys are living testaments. So we are so thankful to have you both here.
Thanks for having us.
Yeah, it's been a pleasure. And again, just the importance of the survivors of suicide as a resource to Dubois County. So make sure to check out all of their social media and the website. And I think the City of Jasper's website also has a bunch of resources about organizations or counseling centers. So the information's out there. You just got to put in a little bit more legwork and kind of see where it leads you.
Right.
So thank you so much again. We will sign off here. Thank you so much at home for watching. And again, make sure you use the internet as a resource if you need help. And, you know, suffering in silence is never the answer. So make sure you reach out, whether it's someone nearby or anything like that, whatever you're most comfortable with. So again, thank you so much for watching. This has been 18 WJTS in.form. We're local people watching local people.